Showing me the way, and round it goes, day by day. So
Jason Garrett and his best friend vacation each summer at the New Jersey shore.
flashes and glows.
It's not far from where they met more than 30 years ago, in a geology class at Princeton University. The Garrett's ties to Princeton run deep. It's there where each year they hold their Jason Garrett Starfish Charities football camp. The weekend begins with the Garretts hosting a dinner.
Thanks for being here.
For camp volunteers.
Offensive coordinator at Kimball High School now.
That's awesome.
So I'm enjoying that.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
I know you're changing lives down there.
I am, Coach.
Huh?
Many of them are NFL coaches and players.
You ready to go?
Yeah, I like this area.
Huh?
I like this area.
Oh, yeah. it ain't Starkville, but you know.
Like Dak Prescott, Jason Garrett wore the star as the Cowboys quarterback.
Play fake Garrett, half roll right, stands, deep ball to the middle, Mills is there, touchdown.
Today, he still wears the star as the Cowboys head coach. But the starfish also has special meaning to him.
Jason Garrett Starfish Charities. Where does the starfish come from? It comes from the 1989 Princeton commencement.
It's vivid in my mind when the speaker started with this story. It was like everything went away and the person was just speaking to me.
It's about a young boy who's on a beach throwing starfish into the ocean. And a woman comes upon him and asks him what he's doing. And he said there was a big storm last night and the afternoon sun hits these starfish, they're gonna dry up and die. And she says there was a big storm. The beach goes on for miles, there are millions of starfish. Your effort's not gonna make any difference. And with that, this young wise boy reaches down, picks up a starfish and says, make a difference to this one. He throws it into the ocean. And I heard that when I graduated.
28 years ago, it just hit me like, wow, that's the essence of life right there.
It was so amazing to me that talking about the beach, our favorite place, and then this bigger message, it was awesome for both of us.
And so when Brill and I decided we were going to start a foundation, we wanted that to be kind of the thesis.
Can deliver one.
So 327 kids are coming here tomorrow from New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. Disadvantaged kids, rough backgrounds, hard situations. We're going to get one of them. That's the goal. Believe in these young men, instill that belief in them. It's simply the greatest gift that you can give someone. I believe this from the bottom of my heart. We've all had people who believed in us more than we believed in ourselves and more than we deserve to be believed in, to be honest with you, right? We got to somehow, some way instill belief in these kids, that they belong here. They belong here. They have something to offer. They're going to sit there on the practice field. They're going to hear somebody talk.
In order to be great, you have to sacrifice something.
We're going to have some coach coach them. There's going to be some kind of connection.
Oh, good shot. That's the way to throw the ball.
We're going to walk up campus. We're going to sit in the lecture hall. We're going to take a picture in front of Prospect Gardens. At some point, we're going to get them. And they're going to say, wow, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to come to a school like this. That's the idea. That's why we're here.
From snap to whistle in this physical game, might makes right. But Jason Garrett knows that in football and life, words also can pack a powerful punch.
I believe in the spoken word. I think your thoughts, your words, they lead to your actions. The first day of our off-season program, I made a talk to our team, and I finished it with a speech a very famous speech that President Kennedy made on September 12, 1962 at Rice University. We call it the Moon Speech, but it's the greatest speech there is.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Not because they're easy, but because they're hard. And because they're hard, they bring out the best in all of us. So I tried to share that with our team. For me, so much of being a coach is trying to establish a mindset and a mentality. We started the third week of April. Line one was build a team we're all proud to be part of forever. I just want to tell you guys unequivocally, I'm proud to be part of the circle right now. And I think words can be really helpful to allow you to do that. It's about mental toughness, it's about focus, it's about will, it's about fight. Ultimately, that's what helps you perform the best, being on that edge. And every time I get in front of the team, I have that feeling. Our standards are high. The best of the best are edgy now. They're hungry, they're focused, and they got a killer instinct. People respond to things differently, and we got to try to sell the same message, okay, a lot of different ways. A good friend of mine's a preacher, He says, I have one sermon, I try to tell it 52 different ways. And that's really the idea of what we're trying to do. It's so much fun for Brill and for me to be back here, a place that's so important to us. We went down to Jadwin Gym today, and I went into the Zamfrini room for the first time in probably 25 years. Immediately, I was taken back to a team meeting with Ron Rodgerson, our head coach. He was so excited about the season, and he encouraged all of us not to wish our days away. Don't wish your days away. This is a great time in your life. The guys, the chemistry we had in that room, the relationships that we had built, the opportunity that we had in front of us. I've thought about that a lot since then. Anybody who's around me every day, these guys hear me talk about recommitting every day. Hey, here we go, little bounce. We got pat and go. We got pat and go, little bounce. Making each day great and winning each day. How we doing, 31?
Doing great, coach.
You ready to do something today? Every day. Come on now, a little snap to this. Turn that flame up all day today. Today was a good day to learn. Don't wish your days away.
I think
Okay, so what happens with the Cowboys? I ask that question at the start of every meeting. If I get a tepid response like that, McFadden, what do? We ask it again, okay? How we doing, guys? Great. How we doing, guys? Great. Okay, here we go. Okay, guys, how we doing? Okay, guys, how we doing? Great. There's a big, what we call the touchstone down in Dallas at our facility, the Star. And all of our players, coaches, and staff members, before we go out to practice, we go by the touchstone and we touch it. It says it's a privilege and not a right to play, coach, and work for the Dallas Cowboys. My experience in life has been this: the people who create opportunities and take advantage of opportunities are ones who recognize the privilege, and it informs everything that they do. I want you guys to look around today. I want you to look around at the people you see. I want you to look around at the facilities. This can be kind of a wow. Wow, can be one of those kinds of places. Molecular biology building, pretty impressive place, right? Some of the finest minds on the planet have studied in these buildings, have changed the world in these buildings. Okay, you guys have created a great opportunity, but we gotta remember it's a privilege to be here. Develop a relationship with the guys who you get a chance to be around today. What we don't wanna have is, this is not an autograph session. I don't want to see Dak Prescott in the corner. He's pinned to the wall just signing things. We ain't doing that. Instead of taking a picture with him, getting an autograph with him, talk to him. What I want you to do is arm in arm. Hey, when you were having that hard time in Mississippi State, what was the transition like? All the different challenges they've had in their lives, many of these things you guys are confronting. They're great resources. Use the resources. Jalen Smith, linebacker from Notre Dame. We drafted him in the second round last year. He's had a lot of issues coming back from a knee injury over the last year. He's an inspiration to me each and every day. Go get to know Jalen Smith. The last thing is this: have fun. Enjoy yourself. Put a smile on your face. When you score a touchdown, spike the ball. Jump up and down, chest bump, do what you need to do. If you got some dance, do some dance. Put a smile on your face and have fun. Be a part of those teams. You know, Jimmy Johnson's the head coach, Norv Turner's the offensive coordinator. Troy's the quarterback, Emmett's the running back. Once you get through there, shake him and go. Michael Irvin, they're all gonna be the best players at their positions of their generation. But to see them in that process and to be around it was really special for me and impactful. Again, mindset, mentality, how they thought, how they worked, how the team came together, how they put their individual pursuits aside for the good of the team and how everybody benefited from that. Those are things I think about every day. It's one thing to hear a message from me, but when you're a pro football player in the prime of your career, these kids look up to them, and there's a real responsibility that comes with that. But I do think, on the flip side, it's a really positive impact on the players themselves. I think oftentimes they see themselves as these young kids and what they were thinking at the time and what advice they got from someone to help get them on the right path.
Hey, tell them, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
You know, the most important thing for a teacher or for a coach is to have connection. You have to have a connection with your student or with your player. I think our players understand that. And I think they love football, and I think they love kids, and I think they love imparting some wisdom on them. But they're all in, they're completely engaged. And I see those same images every year.
Go get a pick and win the game. Go get a pick and win the game.
Of them running 50 and 60 yards, and it ends in this chest bump and this enthusiasm and huge smiles. And I always walk away from that experience thinking, that's some 15-year-old kid from the Bronx. And here he is running down the field with Dak Prescott. And he'll take that experience with him for the rest of his life. And hopefully in some way, in that moment, Dak instilled something in that kid.
In good case, get them opportunities now.
As fun as the football is, Garrett's favorite part of the day is far away from the fields.
My oldest brother, Jim, brought my other brothers, John, Judd, and I, over here early on in high school, and we just spent the day at Princeton. He showed us the academic buildings, where the students live. We looked around and said, wow, this is a pretty neat place. And that's one of the reasons why we want to walk the kids up through campus, to somehow, some way, see if this registers a little bit, see if we can grab them. The walk probably takes 20 minutes or so. They haven't seen anything like this before in their lives. And they say, I don't know if it's going to be here or somewhere else, but I want to do something like this. You know, put college on their radar screen. My oldest brother, Jim, did that for me when I was about their age. So we're trying to do that for these kids now. What an unbelievable morning. Big round of applause for you guys. Wow.
And it's where Jason Garrett introduces a starfish who was saved.
Our last speaker is a guy who used to sit in that seat right there when he was a camper here for 3 straight years from New Dorp High School. And then he graduated with honors, went to Holy Cross, played football, was the captain, graduated with honors. Did Teach for America down in Atlanta, and now he's teaching in Brooklyn. And he's changing a whole nother generation of lives. Freddie Santana, come on up here, Freddie. It's foolish for me to say that somehow we put Freddie on the path. Freddie's got something inside of him. He's a special guy.
Way to make the adjustment.
But I'd like to think somehow, some way, maybe we directed him a little bit.
You make the choice. You gotta live with the consequences. Whether it's positive consequences, whether it's negative consequences.
Think about the impact he's made in his community when he went to Holy Cross and all his teammates, when he went to Teach for America, and what he's doing now. It's exponential. That's the goal. That's why we're doing it. One starfish becomes millions.
I'd love to be a mentor to all 327 of you guys. I have no problem with it. I know I'm not an NFL guy, but I can teach you some other things. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
For Garrett's campers, the walk through campus hopefully leads down a path to a bright future. For Garrett himself, it's a walk into the past, to the place where he met his wife, and where he found his career. And if Garrett walks far enough back in time, he just might run into a Princeton student about to graduate. One whose life is going to be changed by the power of the spoken word.
Valedictory oration will be delivered by Raj Gupta from Bombay, India.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is awesome.
As an old man walked the beach at dawn, he noticed a young man ahead of him, picking up starfish and flinging them into the sea. Finally catching up with the youth, he asked him why he was doing so. The answer was that the stranded starfish would die if left until the morning sun. But the beach goes on for miles, and there are millions of starfish, countered the other. How can your effort make any difference? The young man looked at the starfish in his hands and threw it to safety in the waves. He said, "It makes a difference to this one." Thank you.